What is going on YouTube? Carter here. Got another video for you. We're going to be taking a look at this beautiful, shiny, succulent lightsaber right here. Isn't she a beauty? This is a sexy, sexy beast. We're going to take a closer look at it. The things I like, the things I don't like. Do I recommend it? Should you pick one up? Really, you have to make that decision, but I'll give you some information and see if I can help you with that decision. So, before we begin, let me start with some disclaimers. I'm an enthusiast. I'm a Star Wars enthusiast and a lightsaber enthusiast. I'm not an expert. I don't know all the ins and outs of everything. I don't know every character origin. A lot of the accuracy of these sabers, I can't tell with much certainty. The two saber designs that I do know better than most are the MPP and the Graflex, the Darth Vader and original Luke, aka Anakin saber. Those styles are the ones that I really like and I know the most about, that I've researched, and I can, for the most part, tell which ones are accurate, which ones are not accurate. Still, you know, there's way better people out there than me. But some of these ones, the old canon, the side stories, books, comics, things like that, I don't know as much about. I don't know as much about the characters, and I certainly don't know as much about the lightsabers that they carried. So, for example, this is the Starkiller from LGT. So, Starkiller is a much beloved character. Like I said, though, he hasn't appeared in the canon films, whether Disney or the old films. So I don't know that much about him. I don't know how accurate this lightsaber is. I would suspect it's not very accurate. In fact, I would guess, let me know in the comments if I'm right, that really general shape is probably about it, aside from maybe a few details. I doubt this is very accurate, but it's still a cool lightsaber in and of itself. And it's certainly something that I would recommend picking up if you're in the market for something in this kind of price point, in this tier. So this is made by LGT. It is a Chinese company. They've been making a lot of cool sabers, and for the money, I think they do a great job. Some of their models are stronger than others, but I think it's fine. I think it's a pretty good deal. You can pick these up for, it really depends on the electronics that you put in it, but around 300-ish, give or take, if you're looking at like a pixel blade, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. You can also pick these up through resellers. Generally, you're going to pay a little bit extra to do a US-based reseller, or if you buy them direct from Japan, or Japan from China, which you're still probably going to be paying a resale price, but it's going to be less of a resale price. So it just kind of depends on where you find it. But you'll find these with different brand names and different model names all over the place. But essentially, this is LGT's version of the Starkiller. Now, the coolest feature, which I'm sure you've noticed, is this exposed crystal chamber right here. And this is the reason I bought it. When you're looking at crystal chambers and lightsabers, usually you're much higher in price point than this. This is definitely a way to kind of get in on the crystal chamber game for a lower price point so that you can have one and enjoy it and think it's cool, and I think this is cool. Unfortunately, it is not a real crystal in there. It is looks like it's an acrylic crystal. A lot of the times they will use a real quartz crystal when they make these, but this one appears to be plastic. Still looks cool when you light it up, and I'll show that here in a minute. I need to dim the old lights, if you know what I mean. But it does have a real metal chamber. Looks like copper and or brass. Could just be electroplated. It might be cheaper zinc electroplated with copper and brass, or even potentially coated with something. But regardless, it's a metal chamber, and metal chambers are cool, my friends. It's not a 3D printed plastic one that you will find in some of the other Eco models you come across, so that's cool. There's some good detail in here. You've got the ribs on the side, you've got the channels, you've got the crystal right there in the holder. Very cool. Unfortunately, it is permanently exposed. This is not slid open. This is just how it is. A lot of the times crystal features will be hidden. You twist it, you pull it open, you see the crystal. It's cool. It's like a reveal thing. This one is just always kind of exposed. As such, when you hold it, when you swing it, you've got a grab down below here, which, is really what's intended, is this is where the ribs are. The ribs for your lightsaber swinging pleasure. are down here. There's a lot of design features that speak to the Graflex design. You've got the bunny ears. These are not functional bunny ears, meaning they don't control the band that goes around the top here. They're simply pieces of metal. You've got various knobs. Instead of the red button and the crystal, you've got these black knobs. Like I said, you've got the ribs down here, which are not as pronounced, but they are still there. So a lot of defined design features. This especially, these two pins right here, are very prominent on the Graflex design. So a lot of design features going back to that. But you also have a very Vader-esque type appearance to it with the chrome, the shiny chrome, and the black accents. Ask any Harley guy why they love the look of a Harley, and part of the answer is going to be because of the black and chrome. There is just something about that combination that is awesome. Like, it just looks good. It just does. Looks really, really good. Now we've got the LGT blade plug. You'll find these in a lot of different models from China, as well as 89 Sabers will use these blade plugs. I really like them. I think they look pretty cool. Easy to use, easy to remove. Here is your set screw, so you can pull it out and put in a blade. This one that I bought actually did come with a NeoPixel blade. Oh, I don't think I mentioned that. So this one is outfitted with the NeoPixel blade and the XenoPixel sound card. Very confusing. I don't know why they call it a XenoPixel sound card. Has nothing to do with pixels, but that's what they call it. It's okay. I mean, at the price point, I wouldn't expect anything better. It's fine. You know, the sound is okay in this too. Speakers all right. You know, like I said, for the price point, it's okay. The smooth swing is pretty good. You know, nothing amazing. It's not as good as what you're going to get on a Proffie or Golden Harvest V3, but it's okay. It's pretty good. There's some sound fonts preloaded in here. They're pretty cool. Really, anybody looking at something in this price point, I think, is going to enjoy this. They're going to like all of it. They're going to like the fonts. They're going to like the colors. They're going to like the smooth swing. They're going to like everything. Probably going to like the looks of it. They're going to like that crystal chamber. Overall, it's really, really cool. Now, downsides. Really, the only downsides are aesthetics. Everything has functioned really well. It's well balanced. Looks cool. The aesthetics, there's a few things that aren't the best. A lot of exposed screws. Some of them aren't as bad, like these flat heads aren't as bad. They kind of look like they belong. But a lot of these hex screws, I mean, they just look modern manufactured, especially up here in between those bunny ears. The plastic on these knobs are pretty cheap. It's kind of a hard, light plastic. You've got very prominent set screws poking out right here. So just kind of those kind of cues. I wouldn't really expect it to be any different. Probably the worst, I do not like this control box. It might just be me. I don't like the visibility of these screws here. I don't like how it's squared off. I don't like this round button. This looks tacked on. It looks modern. It doesn't look that great. It would look so much better if this power button was inset into the shroud here. Now, of course, I'm sure they did this for a reason, because this is what they needed to do to get it to work. And, you know, like I said, at the price point, that's what you're going to get. But that's really the only complaints I have is, you know, they could have spent a little bit more time on some of the finishing touches on this, like this control box. But other than that, it's pretty cool. I like it. So let me dim the lights and we will fire this baby up. You can see it's pretty loud.
He was a cunning warrior.
You were the chosen one!
And he was a good friend.
You were my brother, Anakin!
So you hold the button down to change the fonts, press it 1 to fire it up. By default, when you change the font, it also changes the color, the blade color and the crystal color. Hold the button down.
Malicos.
Get a little bit of flickering action right there. We've got a handful of different blade actions, different blade colors, different sounds, different fonts. We'll do one more.
Ben Solo.
So, like I said, really cool saber. Excited I got it. I definitely recommend it. Check it out. LGT Starkiller. I'm out, you guys. See you later.